Hey guys, it's Nevaeh and I'm here to sprinkle my thoughts on you. Just like the rest of my videos, this video is for people who are ambitious, who dream big, who want more out of life. This video specifically is for those who struggle with outgrowing people. For context, I'm a small town girl who moved to a big city, which is LA. So I very much experienced the whole outgrowing people situation, the changing mindsets, the creating my own reality. I've experienced a lot of different things, and one of my main struggles during all these experiences was outgrowing people. I felt very guilty with changing. So I'm making this video to help people who feel guilty to not feel so guilty and to embody the change. For one, I want to start off with saying the outgrowing doesn't start when you move places. It doesn't start when you get a new house. It doesn't start when you change cities. The outgrowing starts whenever your mind decides that you want to be different from those who are around you, that you want more for your life than what the people around you want. So that's when the outgrowing kind of starts. But during that time period, it's still really easy to want to hold on to all of the things that you're used to all of the people that you're used to, the habits that you're used to. It's easy to go back and forth and have inner conflict about your life and the new life that you want to create for yourself. Change can be scary, but don't be afraid of this change. Allow yourself to grow, allow yourself to connect with new people, allow yourself to get rid of the old people, and don't feel guilty about it. Your higher self, the higher version of yourself, would not settle for anything less than what you deserve, and that being people. And if you've been on my channel, you've heard this story a million times, but my first example is I'm from a small town and I wanted to go to a bigger city just to go to a college, my dream college. And so many people told me that I couldn't do it with the baby, or how are you going to do it with the baby? That right there is automatically and already an example of how my mindset is different from the people around me. I had a dream, I had a vision, and that they did not have. And those negative thoughts, those negative ideas alone could have easily slowed down my process of me growing. It could have easily made me not do what I wanted to do. Luckily, I allowed myself to experience change. I allowed myself to outgrow those people, and I allowed myself to do what my higher self would have wanted me to do. The person who I am right now. Okay, to outgrow people. If you're constantly growing, there's no reason that you should still be surrounded by the people who you used to hang out with 4, 5, 3 years ago. If they're not growing in the same direction that you're going, it doesn't make sense. It's gonna hold you back. It's gonna stop you from receiving what you actually deserve, and it's gonna slow down your whole growing process. Okay, another example. I want to be an entrepreneur. I want to be able to make my own schedule. I want to be able to work whenever I want to, take vacation whenever I want to. I want the income that I make to be limitless and not decided by another man. I want it to be decided by me, and I want to receive what I deserve because I know that I deserve it. Imagine that I don't allow myself to outgrow people who don't think like that. Imagine I still continue to surround myself with people from my old town. Let's make up a fake person. Imagine Pizza. Say Pizza. Pizza wants to work a 9 to 5. Pizza doesn't mind somebody else making their schedule. Pizza doesn't mind only being able to take vacation once a year. Pizza doesn't mind having to work 5 days out of the week until they're 60 or however old they have to be whenever they retire. Pizza doesn't mind any of those things. Because Pizza thinks so differently than me, how are we supposed to have any productive conversations that's gonna benefit me and my future? A lot of people think that only relationships should benefit you regarding your future, but literally everyone around you has to benefit you regarding your future. And then on top of that, how is God supposed to make room for more people when what you think you deserve and what you are accepting is people who are not on the same vibration as you? I wouldn't say lower than you, because just because they're completely different doesn't mean that they're any less than you, but they're not on the vibration and the frequency that you're on or that you're meant to be on. And they're holding you back from being where you're supposed to actually go, because that's what you're settling for. You'll start to notice when you stop limiting yourself to the people that you were used to, you will start to make room for the people who are actually meant to be in your life. For example, you used to hang out a lot or surround yourself with pizza. Now you're gonna surround yourself with steak. Steak is a business-minded person. Steak is working towards being an entrepreneur or is an entrepreneur already. Steak does not want to work for anybody else for the rest of their life. Steak does have a limitless amount of income that they plan on making. And Steak also desires to live a bigger life just like you do. Steak may or may not be in the same exact journey as you, but their knowledge and their view on life and their ambition and their willingness to grow is gonna impact your life in some way, shape, or form. For example, if Steak is business minded, if Steak has a millionaire mindset, if Steak wants to own their own business and is actually taking live action to get there, there's something that they know or somebody that they know that could help you get to where you need to go. There's always something you could learn from Steak. The conversations are always gonna be productive. You guys are always gonna be leveling up with each other and constantly growing versus you talking to Pizza who doesn't think like that. You can make 20 friends just like Pizza. You could have this person that acts like Pizza, this person that acts like Pizza. You could have 50 people that act like Pizza. None of the conversations are gonna be productive. All of the conversations are gonna be non-beneficial, but if you make friends with people like Steak and they introduce you to another friend like them and another person like them and possibly their mentor, you are bound to grow. You're gonna keep introducing yourself to people who are business minded. You're gonna keep growing with people who think like you. Another example, I have met a person like Steak, and Steak is very business minded, very entrepreneur minded, wants to make their own schedule, and my partner is also the same way. He's very business minded. I'm very business minded, very in tune with our financial responsibility. So you know what we did? Me, Steak, and my partner decided to have a meeting so we could share all the things that we know about business. Whenever we got together, it was like an explosion of greatness because we're exchanging knowledge. You're telling us about this, we're telling you about that, and already there, instantly like that, Steak now has two connections, me and my partner. She has two connections just because she decided to be on the frequency of people who are like her, and now we have connections because Steak has a mentor, and now we're both able to talk to the mentor that she has. I used to overthink whenever I was changing and I was growing and I was going through different experiences. What if the people from my old town think I'm going Hollywood? What if my friends and family are mad that I'm starting to separate myself from them? Over time, I started to develop this sense of confidence, this sense of self, and self-respect. And I realized that if people want to still be in your life and they still want to be a part of your intimate life, they have to meet the requirements. Just like you would expect from a boyfriend or girlfriend to meet certain requirements, to be certain kind of people, to have certain kind of ambition, to make a certain amount of money, to think a certain kind of way, to have a certain kind of loyalty, a certain kind of respect, all of that matters in friendships and with family as well. If you can't meet the requirements that my partner can meet, and of course my partner has to meet them way more than you do because they're gonna be the closest person to me, my friends and family should meet those requirements as well. If they don't, they're gonna bring you down in one way, shape, or form. Whether or not that's them asking you to borrow money all the time, or them trauma dumping on you every single time you guys get together, whether or not they're gossiping all the time, whether or not they're bringing their negative energy or projections onto you, in one way, shape, or form, they are going to bring you down. And I'm not saying you have to completely cut off these people. Sometimes God changes you so you can help to change other people if they want it. But sometimes when you're growing, a lot of the people from your old life, from who you used to be, don't want to change like you do. And stay away from those people who say must be nice all the time in their vocabulary, because whenever you reach your first 10K month or your first 20K month, your first 30K month, they're gonna be like, oh, must be nice, I wish I could do that, when they can do it, but they just don't have the hustle and the ambition that you have, so they're not doing it. Stay away from the doubters. Stay away from the people who you tell your business idea and they're like, what about this? But what if this happens? But what if this happens? Stay away from people like that too, because they will plant a seed of negative thoughts into your mind, and now you're constantly trying to fight those negative thoughts to reach your goal, when you could have avoided that whole thing in the first place by not talking to that negative person. And let me remind you, how negative people treat you is not how they feel just about you. It's how they feel about themselves. If they don't believe in themselves, if they don't believe that they could do something, that they could start a business, that they could make their own schedule, that they could hit 10K in a month, that they could hit 20K in a month, that they could hit 100,000 in a month, that they could be a millionaire, it's not about you.
No, Baba.
They don't believe in themselves. So of course they're acting that way towards you. And stop feeling sorry about changing. Stop feeling bad about growing. You can't help but grow. Your future self, your higher self, would not be worrying about whether or not you're outgrowing people. Your future self and higher self is probably somewhere on a beach, somewhere on a vacation, somewhere on a trip, thanking God that you were different, that you decided to be different from the people around you, and that you wanted more from yourself. Future self is somewhere thanking yourself from getting away from the old people so you could get the dream house that you deserve to live in. So be unapologetically the person who desires all of the things. Be unapologetically the person who makes connections with people who are just as amazing as them. And by no means am I saying to stop being a good person. Whenever you get your money, when you get your blessings, you're meant to bless those around you. You're meant to bless those who were there for you, those who encouraged you, those who loved you. But do not let people take advantage of you. You don't want to be that person who has to stop every time you're on the way to your client for your business to do lashes or whatever it is that you're doing, has to stop and go give that friend a ride, that friend who always asks for a ride because they're crying and begging you to give them a ride because they have whatever issues going on. Don't be that person who lends somebody $500 knowing that they're never going to pay you back because they've showed you that multiple times. Don't be that person who feels obligated to do everything for your family because they have no ambition for themselves to do it. Yes, of course, bless those around you. Bless those who've encouraged you. Even sometimes bless those who haven't, but do not allow the people from your past to take advantage of you. Being near those people who you used to be around is gonna lead to you getting taken advantage of because they are not on the level that you are on. And after some time away from those people that you used to be around all of the time, you're gonna notice that your mind changed so much from the mindsets that they have. Sometimes, like for me, for example, whenever I go back to my hometown, I love it there. It feels like home, but at the same token, I don't feel like I belong there anymore. I don't feel like I'm meant to be there. And when I get around people that I used to be around, it reminds me of why I left home. It reminds me of why I wanted more for myself. It reminds me of how small the minds in that town can be. And it's not what I want for myself anymore. And it's not that I don't love the people. It's not that I think that I'm better than them. I just think that I'm different. And I think that the frequency that I'm on is not the same frequency that they're on. They're on a different frequency. And I shouldn't have to change myself or act like who I used to be to make anybody else feel better. I'm business minded. I'm intelligent. I'm ambitious. I'm good at saving. I'm a good friend. I'm loyal. I'm very supportive. I am who I am, and I deserve things that are going to serve me because I am going to be able to serve a lot of people around me because of who I am. So why would I settle for less or minimize myself or put myself in a box or cling to people who I used to be like just to make them feel better? It doesn't make sense. I know it's going to stop my growth, and I know that sometimes things are not going to align anymore. It doesn't mean I'm any better than they are. It just means that I'm different, and that's okay. It's okay to be different, and it's okay to outgrow people. We're not meant to be the same. And it sucks that everyone in the world can't just be blessed with $1 million and go do whatever we want and buy whatever we want. But if everything was equal, nobody would be different. So I know that I have to create the life that I want for myself. And with doing that, I'm gonna grow and outgrow people, and I'm gonna meet the people who are meant to be in my life, just like steak. Steak is so beneficial to me. There's so much I can learn from steak, and so much that steak can learn from me, that we're gonna be able to introduce each other to, and our circle is gonna grow. The amount of entrepreneurs and the amount of business-minded people that we're gonna come across is gonna be endless. And with a bunch of business-minded and entrepreneurs around you, imagine where that's gonna take you. Let me just get 5 more steaks and I guarantee you I'll be a millionaire in no time. And I really have that mindset. I really think that if I get myself to be around more people like her, and if I just keep getting more people like her, with all of them having different backgrounds, all of them having different knowledge, all of them having different business ideas, and they're in my life, I can only imagine where that's going to take me and lead me, versus being around 50 people like pizza who don't benefit me at all. One good person, one good quality person, one person who is ambitious, good-hearted, genuine, knows what they want out of life. One good person like that could get you a lot further than one person who is completely different from you. And I'm not saying they're worse than you. I'm saying that they're different and that you deserve to be served, especially if you're the kind of person who serves other people as you should as well. But you deserve to get people who are on your frequency. You deserve to be around people who align with you. You don't deserve to minimize yourself or put yourself in a box because you feel bad because you don't want to seem like you're too good. It's not about being too good. It's about being different. It's about growing, and it's about changing. It's about getting and receiving what is meant for you and what belongs to you. Anyways, thank you guys for listening. That was just me sprinkling my thoughts on you. Holla at your girl. Be real or be real. Oh, and please subscribe, because one more subscriber means everything to me. I love when people comment on my videos. Like, I look at all my comments, and I look at when my subscribers go up, and I know this account is gonna grow. So I just want you to be a part of it. Thank you for watching. Mwah.